Chris Carpenter, Sun Devil Source. How much football did you watch on Saturday, and what did you take from it, and especially whether or not you think that there's more parity now with rev share and all that?
Yeah, I mean, I watched a lot from waking up to going to bed, and I mean, we pretty much watching football all day. My wife loves football too, so she's the one that's like, we can't go anywhere. Because, and we end up going somewhere with my family to watch football more. But yeah, watch a lot of it. There's tons of parity. Every week, you don't know who's going to win. I think that's the biggest difference is, I think somebody said the days of like multiple undefeated teams, I think it may have been Coach Smart or something, maybe somebody else, maybe multiple people, but it's getting harder and harder, and I couldn't agree more with that. I think you're going to see more losses advance further, and a loss or two losses in some cases, sometimes maybe three losses if you can still get your conference championship game, is not the end of the world anymore because of the parity. So I do think the game is changing from that perspective.
And then how do you talk to your team in light of that?
You just try to be you lose a game, you got to come back and try to be better. I mean, you can't get so caught up in the results, and you got to really fall in love with the process. The same thing we always talk about. That last year I think we started conference 2-2, maybe 1-2. I don't know, but it was definitely 0-1. I'm trying to think, maybe it was 3-1, 3-2, something like that. I don't know exactly what it was, but 2-2, right there it is. So, and then we came back to win the league. So I think for us, it's you just got to keep fighting every week, and you never know what happens.
I do, Kenny Hogan, Devil's Digest. I know some coaches might have the temptation in the bye week just to really add more wrinkles. I'm not saying reinvent the wheel, but just really try to do things different, try to show opponents stuff you didn't show the first 5 weeks. But in your case, because you had maybe some basic stuff to really work on, that really wasn't a temptation at all.
No, I think we got a lot of really, really fancy stuff going in. A lot of really tricky things. I think we have 4 throwbacks, 9 different wildcats, so we just got a ton of it. So yeah, lots of you guys are out of practice. I'm trying to report on it. All the craziness. But we just wanted to get better at what we need to get better at. The areas we need to get better at. Hopefully we improve. I think that was the goal of the bye week, and then also get a jump start on Utah because obviously they're a really good football team. Their one loss is to a top 10 team in the country. And they could have easily won that football game. I mean, it was a one-possession game in the fourth quarter. They had a touchdown called back for an illegal man downfield in the first quarter. That was an irrelevant penalty. It was a flag, but it was irrelevant to the shot play. So it really could have been a tie game in the fourth quarter versus number 8, 9 team in the country. So really good football team, and I think we tried to fix our mistakes and then, get ready for Utah.
Blake in the back. Hey, Kenny, Blake Neiman, Fox 10 News. The first year you were under your staff, you went to Salt Lake City and lost 55-3. A lot of things have changed since then, but how have you pointed that loss this week at all and maybe used it to fuel your guys?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely pointed out that the last time we played here it was really bad. And it's a tough environment. I mean, tough environment. There's 50-60% chance of thunderstorms, rain. We could hit a delay. We have an 8:15 kickoff that could also get delayed. And we may be playing this game at 10 p.m., 10:30. I mean, that's not a far-fetched scenario based off the weather report. And it doesn't matter when we play it or where we play it. We're going to play a really good football team with a great crowd, and we got to be ready to go play a physical brand of football. We got to be able to do all the little things right.
Adam and then Doug.
Hey, Kenny, Adam Beadle, Arizona Varsity. Is Devin Dampier maybe one of the more dynamic quarterbacks you've had to prep for during your time at ASU?
Yeah, he's a phenomenal player. I mean, I definitely should have recruited him harder, to be honest. I mean, he's definitely proved me wrong. I always thought he was a really good player, but how productive he's been in college football, I mean, super impressed by him. Completion percentage out the roof, his ability to extend plays. How he runs the offense and operates it. I mean, super definitely a miss by me 100%, and kudos to them for having him on their team because he's a really, really good football player. He's a tough guy to tackle, gets the ball out fast. I mean, he just does a lot of things well, which is why he won a lot of games at Saguaro High School. So kudos to him. I'm happy for him. I mean, my brother-in-law coached him, was his quarterback coach. Jason Muns was his head coach. So Even though we're playing him this week, I got a lot of respect for him, his game, how he plays, how he goes about his business, and how he continues to prove people wrong and has a chip on his shoulder. So I got nothing but respect for him, and I wish him luck the rest of the way.
Jordan in the back.
Hey, Kenny, Jordan, Ham Sports 360 AZ. Given that connection that Coach Mons and some of the other local coaches you have, do you try to lean on Coach Mons in terms of prepping for Dampier, or do you try to just stick to what you've seen recently?
Yeah, we're going to stick to kind of what we see on tape. Coach Mons definitely may have some stuff, but usually the stuff he says is, oh no, he's a really good competitor. He plays better in big games. I'm like, awesome, great. That's exciting. Yeah, he's really tough to tackle. He's savvy, great, perfect. He's more telling us things that we don't want to hear. I want to hear him say yeah, the kid can't do something, but that's not what he says. He says he can do everything. And it's just more, he's just more confirming what we see on tape, which is a really, really good football player.
Doug Franz on Blood Podcast. Yesterday's DeMercado fumble at the goal line. How do you use that? Do you use that? Do you talk to the players about it? Do you show it to them? And not ripping the Cardinals, this happens once a year where somebody does that at the goal line.
Yeah.
Is there any way for a coach to stop it?
I don't know. I think Coach Gannon does a phenomenal job. I'm from here, so I understand how the city works, right? They're 3 plays away from being undefeated. And sometimes you get lost in the result, but the Coach Gannon's phenomenal. They're very close, and to have that play, that's just an unfortunate play. For us, we had a play similar to Raleek on his long touchdown. He dropped the ball. He was 2 yards in the end zone, though, and I ran over there and grabbed him and tried to coach it up. And we show clips every Friday of coachable moments. So every Friday we show about 10 to 15 minute on situations, 2 minute, 4 minute, and then plays that happen in college football that basically we don't want to happen to us. And we show NFL clips too. So we try to show those clips so our guys are ready for pretty much everything, whether it's catching the ball when your foot's out of bounds on a kickoff to get the ball in the 35. Whether it's, if you muff a kickoff and the ball goes in the end zone, what the rules are. If you muff a kickoff that comes out of the end zone, what's the rules are. Does it punt? Is it your body or the ball? We try to go through every scenario possible so our guys are prepared. But at the end of the day, some craziness happens. It's part of it.
Questions?
Kenny, kind of just circling back to what I was talking about earlier, how would you kind of compare that feeling you guys had after that 55-3 loss and kind of just that entire first season, how you've been able to transform to where you guys are now?
Yeah, I know this sounds weird, but it's the same. We have better crowds and all that, but process is the same. We just want to play our best. If our best back then was losing by 14, I wanted to win, but I wanted to play good. I wanted to play our best football. That night, we did not play our best football, and they whooped our butt. It was bad. So that didn't feel good because you didn't play your best football. You played bad football, and they played good football and absolutely destroyed you. So for me, it's always that, is it obviously more fun to win 100%, right? Let's not get it wrong. But the process is the same process that we did 3 years ago, and it will be the same process forever here through wins, through losses, through highs and lows.
Yes, to follow up on that, how do you keep that belief during those times that something like this can be possible?
Is work. I don't know if there was a secret sauce to keeping the belief, but work works. And if you work, eventually good things are probably going to happen for you. And if you get competitive people that work, hopefully good things happen for you. So I think it was just a matter of getting back to work. I think the next week we ran the swinging gate. I think the next week was the swinging gate game. I'm not as smart as some of these guys who can pull games out from 1998 and tell you I'm not on that level. I am not that smart, right? But I believe that next game was UCLA, which we found a way to win in an exotic way, and I think that definitely gave some belief that we're going to try to find ways to win, regardless of if they're normal or not normal. So I think that helped as well.
Jacob Brooks, Sun Devil Source. Kenny, after TCU, you talked about how you were looking forward to the break that the bye week provides. But now that the bye week is over, were there any guys that you felt like you saw really step up and put in that extra work over the bye week?
Yeah, I thought Isaiah Iosefa had a really good bye week. I think Shank's starting to come on as well. So yeah, I think there's a few guys that had good bye weeks and moving and shaking. You know, when we do a little more live periods or thud periods with those guys, and they get to go a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I can't get too in depth. Like I just don't, not that much of a sample size, but I definitely see a few guys. I like our young guys. I think the next generation of Sun Devils. I think we have a really really good foundation. Like last year, sometimes when we did those periods, it was a little bit like. That was when Nabi was here, and he was an awesome player, local kid, and he would run around back there and make incredible plays all the time. This year, there's like protection and there's pass rush, running real plays. So it's good to have like normal, kind of some normalcy when you're running those, prep periods. I would say with the young bucks.
And then kind of to follow up on that, do you have any injury updates following the bye week?
Other than Moss is back, he'll be back for the game. Other than that, Zach Swanson will more than likely be out. And trying to think, X will be out for the game. Other than that, not many other guys that have a status change.
Ryan, and then pass it to Chris.
Hey Coach, Ryan Myers, Devils Digest. Obviously coming off a bye week, it's kind of the perfect storm to have slow starts the following week after that in the game. You guys have kind of had some slower starts already in games over the course of the season. How do you avoid that going into this big game on the road against them?
Yeah, we just got to start faster. We got to have better plans early. And we made an emphasis of it in our team meeting this morning. We got to start practice faster. Like we got to have an urgency when we start this thing. So we're gonna change some things up, not a bunch, but make little tweaks to try to create some urgency at the start of practice, because it is taking us a while to get into our rhythm, and we can't fall behind 17 points and expect to win many games. Luckily, the 2 games we have fallen behind 17, we've taken a lead, but that's not a recipe to win games.
For you to kind of follow up on that as well, you've talked about how when Coach's game day, it's kind of players' day. You're not really doing too much overly managing. But do you feel like there's anything that you could do on game day as a coach differently in order to kind of avoid those things going forward as well?
Maybe the game plans. Being more aggressive potentially. I don't know. I mean, it's we got to create better plans early in games to help our guys get going. But in game, not really. Like I say, like in game, especially early drives, that's prep. Like that's kind of the haze in the barn. As the game progresses, that's when minor tweaks to the plan. Nobody's gonna full sail change what they do in a game plan, right? But you can make minor tweaks of things that you like and stuff like that. Guys can get comfortable with what they're seeing and get better throughout the game. But early in the game, it's more prep.
Chris? Kenny, you mentioned Utah's offensive line last week. The combination of that with a mobile quarterback when you're playing on the road in a hostile environment, can you just speak to the challenge of that?
Yeah, well, it's not the Utah of old from a scheme perspective. I mean, this is a triple option football team. This is a team that uses the quarterback as a +1. The quarterback will pull runs. And so now they have the really good O-line, the physicality they've always had, and now the quarterback can pull it and run off triple option, which creates another layer of difficulty to defend these guys. And so I really think they took another step forward in terms of difficulty to play, especially schematically with all the triple option stuff and all the quarterback run game, all the motions, all the shifts. And then defensively, they've been one of the best for a long time. So there's no need to change much there. Just keep being a top 15 defense almost every single year that they've been there.
Damon Allred, Arizona Sports. Coach, a lot of the talk around Sam preseason was about the quick rhythm passing game. Through 5 games, just how would you assess that area of his game?
Yeah, last week was really good. I think it's hard. You can go back, but I like to go by where people are now. Last week he was really, really good. Really efficient on early downs. Got the ball out fast. We weren't forcing first and seconds. We weren't scrambling on first and seconds. So I thought I was really, really impressed by how he's played really the last 3 weeks. But last week I thought he played his best.
And then I personally think he's been better out of structure than in it. Do you agree with that? And is that something that concerns you if so?
No, I mean the last couple games he's been really good in structure. Obviously, to say better, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country out of structure. I don't think there's a doubt about that. So you're still not wrong. Like, he's great out of structure. He's so good out of structure, but he's playing really good in structure these last few weeks. I mean, you look at the first and second down passing. You know, third down passing is going to be a lot of out of structure for every quarterback in the country in college football, especially third and 6+, third and 7+. So his first and second downs were a lot of instruction the last 2 weeks, and he's been very efficient. So I've been really, really pleased with how he's been playing.
Hey, Coach, I'm their Sun Devil source. In the offseason, you talk a lot about how Sam pre-snap was improving his ability to diagnose what he saw in front of him, make checks, audibles, adjust protections, stuff like that. Heading into a really tough environment after playing in 2 tough environments already this season, how have you seen that skill potentially grow or stay the same?
Yeah, it's definitely growing. Now when you play, in an environment like this, you can't have as many checks. You just got to play. Because if you have too many checks, you're going to false start, you're going to not hear them, you're going to be off the same page. And so I think the environment, then playing at night makes the environment even better. So it's a really tough environment to really, be in a world of checks. So I definitely think he's been doing really good at it, but I think we've got to tailor that down based off what we play this week and where we play, what they do on defense, and Coach Kelly does a phenomenal job, and we've got to protect ourselves from getting too cute.
And you mentioned how you felt he was very good in structure last week. How important will it be to carry that over through the bye week to remaining very good within the structure?
Yeah, it's going to be huge. I mean, they know who they are on defense, and they do it really well. And I think regardless of, they're going to line up and play some man coverage, and you got to do a throw and catch versus man. And then they mix it up. So they do a really good job mixing it up with their pressures, making it look like man and not playing man. And they do such a good job getting in and out of it that you have to be post-snap, you have to be able to see what they're in. Not necessarily all the time pre-snap, because they do a really good job of their disguises. You're not going to know what they're in. You're not going to know if they're bringing pressure. You're not going to know a lot of things. So you got to do a really good job post-snap with our eyes this week.
Greg up front.
Thanks. Coach Greg Moore, Arizona Public, good to see you. Utah, back to them being awesome every year. Top 15 defense every year. The coach has been there for 100 years, been successful every year. Does legacy factor into a game like this? If so, how? Or do you just try to keep guys locked in the here and now?
We try to keep guys locked in the here and now. At the end of the day, like, prior years don't win football games. But the culture that he's established there is elite. Bottom line. That's why I said if we can build something that he has built here, and that starts with the crowd. You always talk about when you go there, the crowd, how hard it is to play at home. Well, we're starting to get that, right? We talk about their physicality and their toughness. Well, hopefully we're not there yet, but we're creeping up on, hopefully being able to be in that conversation in 5-6 years. You can't just do it 1 or 2 years and say, oh, we're this team that's done it for 12, right? But hopefully we're getting closer and closer to that style, and that style is won, and it will win, for the end of time. If you can run the ball, stop the run, not turn the ball over, be physical, and win at home, you're going to have a lot of good seasons. And that's been their formula of toughness for a long time. So unfortunately we have to go there into that environment, which is good fun for us in the college football. And then try to play a culture. We're not playing a football team, we're playing a football program. I think that's the biggest deal sometimes. Sometimes you play teams, sometimes you play programs. We're playing a program. We're playing a program that's won for a long time, a system that's won for a long time, a coach that's won for a long time, and a place that's won for a long time. And those are the hardest teams to beat.
Kevin.
Coach Kevin Hicks, ASU on SI. We talked a little bit about Utah's elite tackle duo last week, but what challenges do their front seven present your offensive line, and how much faith do you have in your O-line to hold up against that incredible front line?
Yeah, I mean, they're really good on the defensive front, and they bring really good twist games. They have really good scheme on top of the players, so it's not just all one-on-ones. They know where to bring games. They know how to bring games. Their players recognize, when guards are pulling. They recognize passing stances. Like, they do all the little things right that make you good, that nobody's going to see. Like, nobody's going to see that they're pointing out pass or they're pulling out guard pull. But that gives you all the advantage in the world. So they just do such a great job on the defensive front and in the front seven at doing all the little things right that actually win football games, which is why they can run what they've run for so long, is because they focus on the stuff that matters. They're physical, they tackle well, they don't give up big plays, and then if you give them a tell, they're going to take it and they're going to kill you with it.
Jake?
Hey, Coach Jake Sloan, Sun Devils source. You guys had the best run defense in the Big 12 last year, and through your performances so far this year, how do you feel like you're able to combat an offense like Utah that is so elusive on the ground?
Yeah, I mean, this is a way different offense than we've been seeing because it's, there's a lot of triple option elements, there's a lot of quarterback read elements. They use a whole bunch of different personnel groupings, which completely change everything. Like there's not a, we know we're going to get A, B, C from these formations. This is like, okay, this week, what are they going to run from these formations? What are they going to run from these personnel groupings? So we've just got to be extremely, extremely sound this week because they present so many problems schematically on the offensive side of the ball, just from how many guys they read, the personnel groupings and formations. It's a really good challenge.
A quick follow-up on that, when you return almost everyone on your defensive front, how important is it for them to have that pre-snap communication and just that almost anticipation of what the guys around them will be?
Yeah, we have to be great pre-snap on defense. Finding formations, where our fits are, who's number 3, who's number 4, who's number 2, depending on formations. Is the X on? Is the X off? Because in college football, you can live in a world where the X is basically on, but then he goes in motion. You're like, what the heck? I thought it was on. And now you're in unbalance like that. And just the nature of the beast. So we got to be elite at communicating in order to get our fits right, because that's a stress that they create for you.
Coach now Roseburg State Press, continuing on with the defense, 24 sacks last season, already 19 this season. How much improvement have you seen, and how much of a game changer do you think it'll be against a team that's only given up 3 sacks so far this season?
Yeah, I think the reason they haven't, for us, one, our guys have put in a lot of work, so it's fun to see when guys work, change their bodies, and then they see the reward. I think for me, that's why you coach, is to have guys who put in work see the reward. And I think our guys who put in the work are seeing the rewards. And that's awesome to see. That's what you want to see. That's a good step for a program, is seeing guys get better. And I think, last year at this time, I don't know how many sacks we had, but it wasn't many. People are, what are we going to do to the pass rush this offseason? How are we going to fix it? We're not going to fix it by adding people. We're going to fix it by, guys getting bigger, stronger, better with each other. And now we've accomplished that. So through development. So I think we got better at pass rush through development, not acquisition. And in terms of the challenge this week is, it's a great challenge. I mean, you're facing a phenomenal offensive line. They don't give up sacks, partly because of the players at offensive tackle that are potentially 2 first-round draft picks. And then secondly, because of the scheme, it doesn't really allow to create many negative plays. Really hard to create negative plays versus this type of style, because of just schematically what they do. They're not going to drop back 45 times, and you're not just going to lick your chops and say the tackle's going to pass set and we get to bring games. Like, you have to defend the triple option or the quarterback run. You have to defend the run schemes every single snap on third and everything.
Michael?
Coach, you talked about, when you talk about the defense that he's been up against, obviously going up against your defense, saying it's one of the best. I say that because I know you can't emulate players. Your coaches talk about that a lot, whether it's offense or defense, but him having faced your defense, how big is that going into Utah? Yeah, I mean, it's huge, but at the same token, one thing about quarterback is you're never live. So when defensive ends get to you in practice, it's like, you wouldn't have sacked me. Yes, I would have. No, you wouldn't have. Yes, I would have, right? It's not real. When you get into games and guys get to you, it's real. They've got to sack you, and you've got to prevent being sacked, whether you throw it away, whether you get out of the pocket. So I definitely think him feeling that on him in practice is a benefit, him having to move from the pocket and stuff like that. But game day is a whole different beast for a quarterback. I think it's the biggest jump of any position in football is practice quarterback to game day quarterback, because you're never live. It's the only position that is just a drastically different game, practice versus game day.
Back to Sam in structure. Obviously, if a 3-tech blows somebody up, you're out of structure, whether you want to be or not, right from the beginning. But On plays where there is a question, how is he doing when you look at the film on choosing, hey, this isn't working, I'm out of structure? How's he feeling the rush, stuff that we wouldn't see?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think in the last 3 weeks he's played really, really well in structure. And he's gotten better, I think, every single week in the structure. I mean, last week I don't know what his completion percentage was because I only look at completion drop percentage. So I don't know what I think it was around 70 if I had to guess last week, which is really good football. If you're around 70% completion percentage, you're around 300 yards and you're moving the ball efficiently, like that's as efficient as you can be in football. That's 70% if you're still hitting explosive plays down the field. But you can be at 70% if everything's underneath, right? But if you're also taking shots down the field and hitting turbo on deep balls, hitting guys vertically down the field, to be at 70% is really, really productive.
Coach, I know you already talked about your defensive line a lot, but last week after TCU, you said you felt like they were really finally playing together as a team. How important is that? How much do you talk to them about that, and especially going into the Utah matchup, that they might not be the guy in a certain situation getting the sack, and especially facing a tough offensive line like Utah?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about it a lot in terms of, team rush. We got to stop the run as a team. The best defenses are the ones who, in my opinion, the D-lines play the best together. Whether it's twist games, whether it's pick games, whether it's, how they play counters, whether it's how they play the front side of zones, are you bringing good games? The D-line is where you can gain a hat. So if you have a good D-line that plays together, your 4 people can take 5. And if your 4 people can take 5, whether it's you're an odd team and you're taking, nose is taking 2, or the 4 eyes are taking 2 if they can, or whether you're a 4-down team and you can take 5, there's your hat. And when you're a single high defense, you're short a hat in the run game if the quarterback runs. So you either got to get them down, or you got to get out of single high, or you got to get your hat back up front. Right? It's a math problem. And I think when you can play team defense, linebackers and defensive line, and you can get your hat back just by you guys working together, that's how really good defenses play. That's what Utah does. Utah is elite at getting a hat back in single high defense. And every week somebody has a really good plan to beat them. And you may get them once, and their ability to have seen everything in their system, adjust to what you're doing, and then eliminate it. That's what they do on defense. Is they're like, oh, this was their game plan. Well, we've seen this 17 times in the last 12 years. This is our answer, that's the end of that. Go to your next thing. You may get them once. Oh, that's your next answer. Sideline, all right, this is our answer to that. We've seen this 25 times over the last 12 years together. All right, boom, there's our answer. So I think defenses that can mitigate, right, gaps with less people, and I think our defense has done a good job of that.
Paul?
Hey Coach, Colin O from Cronkite Sports. Keyshawn talked about after Friday, you guys did a really good job on 1st and 2nd down, kind of creating 3rd and long. Utah is one of the best 3rd down offenses in the country. How important is it to do that again this week to kind of cause 3rd and longs where Dampier really can't use his legs as an extension of the run game like you're talking about with your option?
Yeah, going to be very difficult because they don't let themselves get into 3rd and longs based off their style of play. The efficiency of 3rd downs is based off of the efficiency they have on 1st and 2nd down, getting to manageable 3rd downs. So the system's about not getting into unmanageable 3rd downs, and they do a really good job of that. And they have a quarterback who can become a +1, which creates their efficiency. So we've got to be able to get off the field on 3rd and short, 3rd and medium. I don't know how many 3rd and longs that they're going to have created because they stay out of that. They don't get a lot of penalties. They don't take negatives and sacks. So I think that's why they play really good offensive football, is they don't get themselves in those tough scenarios and they can convert. So we got to be able to get off the field on those 3rd and mediums and those 3rd and 3s, 4s, 2s to play good defense this week.
Damon up front.
Coach, with the red zone issues that have kind of popped up, and I know you got the tries at Mississippi State, but is Kanye Udoh someone that you've considered using more there, just given his size and physicality?
Yeah, we've looked at everybody. I mean, I was going to move, see what the Baconator, Tristan Bacon could do back there. He was a running back in high school, but he got tweaked a little bit last week. So we've thought about a variety of people to get it fixed, and we've got a plan to hopefully be better in that scenario. In those scenarios, I feel really good about the plan. The plan may not work, and then you guys can say we still suck at it, and I'm going to be continuing to try to fix it, and we'll be at the same spot next year or next game, and hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully the plan, what we practiced last week, and what we're doing, hopefully can be more productive for us.
Hey, Coach. I know it's always one game at a time, but this next 4-game stretch for you guys is a really big one against a lot of really high-level teams. What does this week mean for your team in terms of setting up the success for the entirety of the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, you could have said that before Baylor. I think we asked that question, and then TCU the next 4-game stretch, and now this game the next 4-game stretch. That's the league. This league is anybody can beat any time. College football, going back to what we asked earlier, anybody can beat any time, any week. I mean, that's just home field advantages in college are real. They change. It completely can change the dynamic of games. If somebody dinged up, you have injuries. Like, it's football. Like, anybody can beat anybody. So that's why I stay focused. One day, one game. Like, who knows who's going to be good in 3 weeks? I don't. I don't know who's going to be good in 2 weeks. You don't know, because so many things can happen in college football between now and then. These are still 18 and 22-year-olds. Somebody goes on a 2-game winning streak, they can go completely out of it and check out, right? Kids could redshirt. I don't know. Like, there's so many crazy things that can happen in college football now. You better just focus on one game at a time and try to find a way to beat a team that's a really, really good football team this week.
Courtney DeWallaby, Cronkite News. The NFL recently rolled out virtual measurement technology to track first downs instead of relying completely on traditional chains. As a college head coach, do you see more value in accuracy and speed of new technology, or in keeping the traditions of the game?
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't care. If the technology gives us a first down, I want to use it. If it stops the opponent from getting a first down, I want to use it. If they spotted them bad and we don't have a good review, I don't want that technology. I want to play the spot. So whatever it is, I mean, human error is going to be in every sport. That's part of it. If you can remove human error, great. If you can't, great. I mean, eventually there's going to be human error. I make mistakes every single day on the field, so I don't care, to be honest. That's a good question, though.
Like, Kenny, just talking about the chaos and parity of college football, you've always been adamant about the student-athlete experience here at Arizona State. A few of your athletes were at the hockey game as well as the Moonland Madness event this weekend. How cool is it to see your guys supporting other Sun Devils and just living the college life?
Yeah, our guys are Sun Devils. They're proud to be at ASU. They're proud to be Sun Devils. They're happy to be here, going to hockey games. They're proud. They're going to come back here to watch games. It's not they're going to disappear forever. Like, Cam, that's my phone. Let's see if it's a recruit. No, not a recruit. I would have answered and left. But no, so I do think that college experience it's awesome. I mean, it's what it's about. I mean, one of the goals going into the season was make memories that last a lifetime. And I still believe in that. College is a period of time to create memories, and hopefully our guys have created some already and, can create more.
Last one, Jacob. Kenny, you talked a lot after the TCU and Baylor wins about your guys stepping up in the biggest moments. When you look at tough opponents coming up ahead in a conference that you've talked about where any week can go to anybody, do you look at those close game moments as times when you might need other guys who people might not expect to step up, or do you look at your best players and say, hey, this is your moment?
Yeah, best players. At the end of the day, when the game's on the line, I want Kobe shooting, Michael shooting, MJ shooting. I want those guys shooting the ball. I want, when the game's on the line, I want our big guys to have a chance, our best players to have a chance. Even if it's not the best football play, I like to say, I say to our staff all the time, right? I don't want to win the game as a coach. I want the players to win the game. Like, we have a right for them. It's our job to let them win the football game. Now, if there's a game where I feel like, man, there's a huge matchup disparity and we need to get involved, yes, right? That's our job as a coach, is to make a difference. But I truly believe at the end of the game, you got to let your best players win the football game. And I can sleep at night if I can lean on our best players in the biggest moments.
Are you even old enough to remember Michael in the finals?
Are you kidding me? He was sick. That was a double meaning of the word sick right there.
I got you. Well done.